If you're thinking about relocating to the Raleigh, North Carolina area, like I did, you're probably watching a lot of videos trying to figure out what area is going to work for you. Well, before you move on, don't miss this video. I'm going to rank every suburb in the Raleigh area on a 5-star system, and I'll tell you exactly how I'm doing it because it's not the way that you think in just a second. Because here's the truth about it. Most of the videos you're watching are either too generic or too specific, or they're trying to sell you on a certain area. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what area is going to work for you and which one you should avoid. I relocated just a few years ago like you, and I wish I'd had this kind of information before I made the move. Now I help people relocate to Raleigh, North Carolina and buy a home in a neighborhood that works for them and avoid the mistakes. Let's start with the first town that most people shopping from outside of the area completely miss. Town number 1 is Garner. Now, most people looking from out of state like California or New York, they'd look at Garner and they just scroll right past it, and honestly, that's a mistake. Garner sits just south of Raleigh off of I-40 and 440. If you work in downtown Raleigh, this is one of the fastest commutes you can buy. We're talking about 15 minutes to downtown Raleigh. A lot of people skip it because it doesn't have a really polished look or a really nice built out downtown section. They also don't have massive master plan communities like Apex or Cary. But here's the thing they miss. You get way more home in Garner than you do in those other areas, and you're still buying in the mid 300s for a solid 3-bedroom house. For those reasons, we're giving Garner a 3-star rating. That's 3 out of 5 stars. Why? Great commute, great location. Some of the amenities are a little bit lacking, but since you have such a great area and a great location, you can easily get to other parts of the city to get those amenities. Outdoor recreation space is a little lacking, so we took a star off for that. The job market and access to commuting is super great, as we mentioned before. We're also giving 1 star to Garner for growth, development, and future value. Garner is only getting better, and as you can see by some of the newer buildings and newer builds that are happening right around Garner, it is the place to be. You are seeing developers coming in, you are seeing land being scooped up, because this is going to become an extension of the metropolis of Raleigh, North Carolina. So 3 out of 5 stars, not bad for a town that most people completely miss. Let's compare it next to the one that everybody searches first. Town number 2 is Cary, North Carolina. We're giving it 4 out of 5 stars. Let's talk about why. Town number 2 is Cary, the one that everybody asks about. We get calls about being in Cary, being in Morrisville, which is really kind of part of Cary, and being in the school district for Wake all the time. Is Cary actually worth the price tag? Let's dig in. Cary is a highlight of the Raleigh, North Carolina area. The location of Cary is what makes it so ideal. It's really closely located near the airport RDU, really close proximity to the Research Triangle Park up to the northwest, and down over to the east is Raleigh downtown. So access to all the areas and freeways that you need is aplenty in Cary. Also, Cary has amazing outdoor areas, parks, greenways. In my opinion, Cary has the best, right alongside Apex and also Holly Springs. There's great greenway areas there that have been built up and established by the town, maintained by the town, high quality areas. Cary, if you just simply look at Cary's downtown, it went from almost nothing 10 years ago to a sprawling, walkable, eatable, and entertainment center for all of Raleigh. They spent $64 million on downtown Cary Park. You have to check it out when you move to the area. So we're giving a star for location. We're giving a star for parks and green belts and greenways and all of the amazing stuff downtown. We're also giving a star for the job market and accessibility and commute, because you can get anywhere from Cary. That's why we're taking away a star, because everybody wants to move there and the affordability has gone down. The prices have gone up. In addition to that, there's just no more land in Cary. All the areas that Cary has annexed are filled with houses, and the developments are starting to move to the west, but they're running out of space. So there's a few places they're building, but really not very much. Dining and amenities is fantastic. Our absolutely favorite authentic Chinese food place is in downtown Cary. You gotta check that out. Local ice cream, local pubs, breweries. There's even a artsy kind of a movie theater downtown connected to one of our favorite coffee shops named Brew. Cary kind of has a large mixture of everything with still feeling like a small town vibe. It's also the location of a Trader Joe's, which makes it a big attraction for a lot of people. So long-term development, long-term value also gets us a star. Again, Cary is getting 4 out of 5 stars. If you're looking for new construction, take Cary off your list because there's just nothing being built there. So you're probably wondering at this point, what's your star system? Is it just a random? Well, no, as I've mentioned, we're using a star for each of these different categories. Star number 1 is cost of living and housing affordability. So as you just saw with Cary, the prices have just gone up. It's such a hot spot that, you know, your average home is going for $600,000 to $700,000 in the area. It's quite expensive. Star number 2 is outdoor recreation and green space. Well, Cary is a prime example of amazing green space and amazing outdoor parks, some of the best really in the state. If you're not near at least a 2-lane highway or a 2-lane road going each way, you're going to get stuck in traffic outside of the metro area. So we want to give that 3rd star for our commutability and job access. 4th star is amenities, dining, and lifestyle. Now, what we're talking about here is access to great dining, day or night, weekends, and a lifestyle to where you have options for places to choose. Some of these towns are a little smaller and they're growing, and some of them have just exploded like Cary, and they're full of options, but there's not a lot of places to buy. So that's star number 4. Star number 5 is growth, development, and long-term value. Now, when we say growth and development, we don't necessarily mean buildings going up. We mean, is the place being maintained well? Maybe is it being built up by the town? Are they putting in infrastructures? Are they building out the roads? Because that is a big complaint around here. The roads are getting packed with people just because they're single lane roads, or maybe there's 2 lanes and it's just not enough for the people. And also we're talking about long-term value. Long-term value means in 5 to 10 years, is the value of my home that I buy going to go up there? Is it going to be a more worthwhile place? Now, generally speaking, let's step outside of the star system for a second. Everywhere around Raleigh is exploding and expanding. Some faster than others. Some still have kind of an older southern vibe. Some of them also are just becoming a fast building metro. So growth and development is happening almost everywhere, but some places it's better than others. That's why we give that 5th star rating. Now we're gonna hit 9 more towns as fast as we can. You don't wanna miss some of the surprises in this one, including a town you've probably never even heard of. Town number 3 is Clayton. We get asked a lot about Clayton, and it's especially because of the prices there. Clayton is getting 3 stars out of 5, and we'll talk about why in a second. Clayton is a little bit out of the way. Now, it's kind of close to the city of Raleigh, but it's far from almost everything else. So we're headed to Clayton. That is getting 3 out of 5 stars. This is a completely different vibe than the last 2 that we spoke about. Clayton sits about 20 miles east of Raleigh in Johnston County. So it's not in the Wake County School District, it's in Johnston County. The vibe is totally different from Cary. It's more small town, more affordable, and more spread out. Now there is a beautiful development nearby called Flowers, and you definitely want to check that out if you're into a kind of a remote location that's got its own shopping. Everything's right there, but it's got its own newer kind of a vibe out there. But Clayton is building fast. Here's why we gave it the stars. When it comes to growth, development, and long-term value, you have businesses moving into Clayton, including Nordisk, including Grifols, and they're making big investments in that area for their businesses. Billions of dollars in biotech manufacturing, and that brings jobs, to housing demand, which brings appreciation in your prices. Outdoor access there is too. That's star number 2. The Neuse River and Clayton Riverwalk are outstanding. Clayton has done a great job of developing areas that people want to flock to. The parks and recreation there are outstanding. We are taking away star number 3 for job and commute. Well, commute we talked about. It's quite a bit to get to Raleigh downtown and to the other towns to the west. And jobs are coming, but not coming fast and fierce. We just talked about biotech bringing some jobs in. It's just taking some time to build. I would say if we revisit this town next year, we might give it 4 stars. Dining and lifestyle ability, that's one that we didn't give a star for, and that's just simply because it's still an up and coming place. They do have a great brewery. They have a steakhouse downtown. downtown, several different restaurants, and they have really one of the best vintage bars called Revival that I've ever seen really anywhere, and I've been to some major cities. I think this place is fantastic. It's a great place to meet up for cocktails. Clayton is a best fit for people who are remote working from home, buyers that are prioritizing their price. Hey, you can get a house, a 3-bedroom house for $325,000 down in Clayton. Anyone working for Novo, Nordisk, or Grifols, you're gonna wanna be down in Clayton. It's not a fit for people who are commuting to Raleigh downtown every day. Town number 4 is Apex, and it happens to be town number 4, and it gets 4 stars. Let's talk about Apex. Apex's motto is Apex, the peak of good living, and the downtown area really does give you that vibe. This is the town that keeps getting voted one of the best places to live in America. So is it worth the price? Apex is often talked about alongside its sister town, Cary, for good reason. There's good schools in Apex, there's a solid commute via 540, and one of the most charming historic downtowns in all of the Triangle. It's a real walkable downtown area with ice cream, Italian food, Mexican food, 2 great breweries, and personally one of my favorite sushi spots all around called Sushi Suyu. It's a mouthful, but Sushi Suyu is fantastic. It's a little hole in the wall, best sushi around. As far as outdoors and the other star number 1, you've got Jordan Lake. You've got great walking trails. You've also got a skate park for the kids, soccer fields, football fields, baseball fields, dog parks, all of it's there in Apex. Star number 2 is the job market and access to jobs. And right now, Apex is just growing, growing, growing. Apex also gets a star for amenities and lifestyle because, as we spoke about, you've got the amazing historic downtown area. It really feels like walking back in time, and people love it there. And you've also got all the shopping. 5 minutes away, outside of the main downtown area, is all the shopping. You just name it. You've got it all there, including a movie theater, Beaver Creek, shopping commons, sports equipment. You've got sports centers, supermarkets, Target, all of it's right there. It's a great fit for families that are prioritizing schools, outdoors, RTP commuters. You're gonna wanna move there as well. It's got a charming downtown. It's not really a great fit if you're very budget conscious or you're looking for a rapid appreciation in the price of your home. That's the 1 star that we took away, was housing affordability. Now, as far as growth, development, and long-term value, yes, Apex is gonna keep building. Real quick, if you're watching this video, you're probably already searching your favorite place and you're torn between a few of these towns. That's normal, and I went through the same thing too. The thing is, the right town for you depends on where you're working, the schools you want, and what you want your day-to-day life to look like. That's exactly the conversation that my team has with people moving to the area every day. If you're moving to the Raleigh, North Carolina area, don't make the mistake of guessing on a good location or going off of one website's reviews. Let's get together on a quick call and talk through the areas and find out what's a good fit for you. We'll even give you a personalized guide so that you can tour the town, get a feel for all the areas that you love for when you come for your visit. The contact information is on the screen. Call, text, or email, days, nights, or weekends. We're here for you. Let's get into the next town now, which is actually one a lot of people haven't heard of, but you gotta check this out. Town number 5 is Knightdale. We're giving it 4 stars. What? Never even heard of Knightdale. Well, if you look on the map of Raleigh and you go directly east, you'll run straight into Knightdale. And what that means is that you're only about 15 minutes, maybe 20 or 25 on a bad day from downtown Raleigh. That's an incredible commute, and that gives it a star right off the bat. Knightdale is expanding with lots of growth, lots of building, and lots of new construction homes happening out there. I personally have some favorite places that I love out there that are unique and not cookie cutter. If you're interested in that, get in touch with us. Most people overlook this, but Knightdale is a place you can still get a 3 or 4 bedroom home at a reasonable price. If you go all the way to the other side over to Cary and Apex, you're going to pay hundreds of thousands more for that same home. The 540 extension, which goes all the way around Raleigh, is making this the next up and coming hotspot. So don't miss Knightdale. This area is a best fit for long-term buyers, Raleigh downtown commuters, and investors who are willing to get into an area early. The only star we didn't give to Knightdale is amenities and lifestyle, because it's still coming. It's up and coming. They're building out restaurants, bringing new businesses into the area. Let me tell you, once these houses are in and people are moved into the area and they're realizing this amazing commute to downtown, they are going to explode with retail, with shops and restaurants down there as well. So don't miss Knightdale in your search. Next up is one everybody's heard of. It is Holly Springs, and we're giving it 4 stars. If you're trying to figure out what town is going to be the next Cary, definitely look at Holly Springs. Pay close attention, because I'm going to tell you why Holly Springs is exploding and what you kind of need to watch out for when you move there. It's become one of the most in-demand towns, and Fujifilm is actually building this massive tech company over there. They're bringing thousands of jobs into the area. 540 access, US 1, 55, which is a pretty major highway in and out of the area, all produce really great access. That being said, Holly Springs is building and expanding so fast, you can get stuck in traffic in Holly Springs almost every day. The amenities are amazing around Holly Springs. We give it a star for Bass Lake, Womble Park with tennis and baseball, and its walkability right to downtown. You can play soccer and walk right downtown and get an ice cream cone. Make sure you find out about the hidden ice cream down in Block on Main. Make sure you hit up that building for ice cream as well. Amazing. And my favorite wine bar, Wine 100, is downtown Holly Springs. All very walkable. Holly Springs brings so much to the table, including Lowe's Home Improvement, Walmart, Target, all the stuff, right? Movie theaters. Our favorite dine-in movie theater, AMC, is in Holly Springs. So it kind of gives you a lot to love in that area, but just be ready. The traffic is real and the costs are real. It is the next Cary, which means if Cary is priced here and Apex is priced here, Holly Springs is priced right below it. That's the only star we took away. Otherwise, Holly Springs offers an amazing lifestyle. And if you go to 12 Oaks, or you start getting a little bit outside of the main town, you'll experience that mellowed out, relaxed Southern lifestyle that you might be looking for. We're now going to talk about a place a lot of people miss and you've got to take a look at. We give it 4 stars, and that's the town of Wendell. Number 7 on our list is Wendell. Now you can say Wendell, whatever you want to say. This town is up and coming for a lot of really good reasons. Once you see why Wendell is such a value and what's going to be coming there, you'll understand why we gave it 4 stars. So don't miss this. When you look at the map, Wendell looks pretty far. It's like, am I even near Raleigh? But here's the deal. US 64 runs straight from Wendell into downtown Raleigh. Depending on traffic, you can get downtown in about 20 minutes. That's faster than a lot of parts of Wake Forest, which is a very desirable and more expensive area. This is the detail that changes everything. Wendell Falls is a master planned community that has changed the landscape for Wendell. It's one of the most successful developments in all of the Triangle. It includes a pool, a clubhouse, amenities, walking trails, and community events. It's drawn a lot of people from California and New York because of the lifestyle that it gives. This next piece gives Wendell real momentum. The new construction and new development in the Wendell area has been steadily growing. Similar to Knightdale, this entire eastern side of Raleigh is benefiting from the connection of 540 all the way around Raleigh. It's not hard to get there anymore. You don't have to take these little side roads. Here's where Wendell drops a star, and it's the same story as Knightdale. There just isn't quite the variety and the depth of restaurants and options for entertainment and lifestyle there. Don't worry, it's coming, but you might have to have some patience, and if you're looking for a walkable metro lifestyle, consider another area for sure. Now let's get to the most divisive town on our list. This one for sure is going to get some comments below. Town number 8 on our list is Durham, and I'm giving it 5 stars. I don't even live there, but we're giving it 5 stars. Let me explain why. You don't want to miss a few details about Durham, and you don't want to pick the wrong part of Durham, but here's why we gave Durham 5 stars. If you're moving to the Triangle and you haven't considered Durham, you need to give it a good look. You're missing out on one of the strongest plays on the map. First, Honesty up front, Durham is less of a town and more of a city of its own. I'm including it because a lot of California and New York relocators end up here once they actually understand it. Reputation matters. Durham had a rough period decades ago, but the old narrative hasn't caught up to the new reality. This is where most of the out-of-state buyers get it wrong. Durham has undergone one of the most significant urban revitalizations in all of the Southeast. The American Tobacco District, Bright Leaf, 9th Street, and the entire downtown corridor. This is a real city with real restaurants, real culture, real nightlife, and real walkability. Now, if your job is in RTP or Duke Health, Durham is the single most convenient place you can live. You're 10 minutes from work. But this is the part nobody talks about on the Facebook groups. Durham is pocket by pocket. Hope Valley, Trinity Park, Forest Hills, Hope Valley Farms, downtown Durham condos. These are strong, desirable neighborhoods, but drive 10 blocks and you're in a different direction and you're in a completely different situation. That's where having local guidance really matters. You're going to want to research these areas and get together with a local guide to find out which one really works for you and your family. Here's the trade-off, and it's just being honest. County property taxes are higher in Durham than they are in Wake County. For the same priced home, you'll pay more in taxes than Raleigh or Cary, so you have to factor that into your monthly number. Outdoor access is elite. The Echo River State Park, American Tobacco Trail, Duke Forest, Falls Lake. Durham just produces when it comes to outdoors. It's a best fit for people who work in RTP, the Research Triangle, or Duke, or people going to Duke. You can definitely get into a lot of different places right down the street from the school. Culture and food lovers, all of that surrounds the city and surrounds the college as well. So that's why we're actually giving Durham 5 stars. Again, don't miss this. Gonna want to choose the right pocket of neighborhood in Durham. Don't pick the wrong one. All right, I'm gonna ask you actually to pause this video in just a second and write down the phone number that I give you. Because if you're actually moving to the area and you don't wanna get stuck in the wrong neighborhood, we need to have a quick talk. Our team can get together with you, have a very quick Zoom call, and help point you in the right directions for the neighborhoods that are gonna work for you. I relocated and I wish I had this kind of information when I did it. I wish somebody had gone out and scouted areas for me and brought this information to me. So pause this video, text us right now, and then come back because we've got 3 more areas and one of them might change your search. Town number 9 is Fuquay-Varina. Yes, it's that funny sounding name that's a town that also has 2 downtowns. It used to be 2 and they merged together. Most of you have already heard about Fuquay-Varina online. If you haven't, you should check it out. There are advantages and disadvantages, but we did give it 4 stars. So let's run through real quick the reasons why it has 4 stars. Availability and housing cost. It's still affordable in Fuquay-Varina. In my opinion, it's very affordable. Houses still run under $500,000 for a nice big house. We're not talking about townhomes down here. I just recently sold some really nice 2,000 square foot townhomes for about $360,000. So the prices are still affordable and the amenities are great. Fuquay-Varina is one of the more affordable areas for cost of living and affordability. In fact, we have a whole video talking about it. I'll put the link up in the corner here and you can check out Fuquay-Varina after you're done, or jump over there now if this is the place you're really interested in. Outdoor recreation and green space. I was actually kind of torn in parts about this, but you do have Harris Lake, you do have Hilltop Needmore Park. That's a big one, 150 acres with trails and athletic fields and open space. So I had to give it a star for outdoors. It doesn't have the trails and greenway spaces exactly the way that, say, a Holly Springs or a Cary does, but I would say it still deserves a star for Hilltop Needmore. Commute is not bad, but we did take a star away from that because it's going to take you 30 minutes to get to Raleigh, and it's going to take you even more to get to Research Triangle and the airport. If you travel a lot, if you're needing to get up to the Triangle Park, it's just going to take you a little longer, so be ready for 45-minute commute. And I was a little torn on amenities as well here, but I'm going to give Fuquay-Varina a star, and I'll tell you why. Aviator Brewery has blown up this area. First of all, Aviator had a barbecue and a pizza place and a tap room. Now they've opened a 40,000 square foot facility with an airplane and a music venue. And this is the place to hang out, especially if you like to have a beer. Their pub tap room is bar none. It's large with large screens for sports. So there's a lot to like about it. There's also really great dining, including a Greek place downtown. They have some awesome different restaurants that are popping up. It's growing, it's getting there. And I would say that if you liked walkability and you like a social district where maybe on a Saturday night you're just wandering around the streets and having a drink, that's awesome. They also have a hatchet throwing place. They have different places that are scattered throughout the two downtowns. Growth, development, and long-term value, yep, it's going to continue going on here. And some of my favorite hidden pockets are near the Fuquay area, so you definitely want to check out Fuquay. We're covering 2 more spots, and the next one is number 10, which is Angier. Angier is a small area. It's a town that most California and New York buyers have not even heard of. The ones who find it are getting something nobody else can get. Angier is south of Fuquay-Varina. Here's the first key detail. It's in Harnett County, not Wake County. That matters. It's a different tax rate, different school district, different everything. This is exactly what buyers overlook in a good way. Harnett County taxes are lower than Wake County. Combined with already affordable pricing, Angier is one of the cheapest monthly payments you can get in this entire area. So this is where smart buyers start thinking differently. Growth is happening. Fuquay and Holly Springs spillover is pushing south. New construction is picking up significantly. Raven Rock State Park is within reach for hiking. Rural outdoor access is real. But let me be real about the trade-offs. You are 40 minutes plus from RTP or downtown Raleigh. No direct highway. Now that may not seem too significant, but as soon as you're starting to get further and further away from the main highways that run into Raleigh, you're on little single lane roads, and if one car crashes or there's a flood or whatever it may be, like you're stuck. It could even be just somebody making a left-hand turn and waiting for all the traffic to go by. You're sitting there for minutes. Amenities, downtown Angier is tiny. Most errands and grocery runs means driving to Fuquay or to Holly Springs. And one thing to know, because Angier is in a different county and has different schools, the tax rates get confusing fast. This is one of the areas where the line between Wake County and Harnett County can be from street to street. If you're considering this area, this is exactly the kind of thing we help with. We give that insider info only to those that connect with us, so go ahead and text the number on the screen. Angier is best for land buyers, budget buyers, remote workers, people who want rural without being fully isolated. It's not a fit for daily commuters, amenity-focused buyers, or Wake County school fans. We've come to the last on the list. Some might say we saved the best for last. I'm not sure about that yet. Wake Forest is beautiful, and we are giving it 4 stars for so many different reasons. And then you're going to want to stick around to find about the 1 star that we took away from Wake Forest, because people love this area. People are obsessed about Wake Forest. Wake Forest sits in northern Wake County. It has a genuinely charming, historic downtown, probably top 3 in the entire triangle. Restaurants, coffee shops, and a real Main Street feel. Joyner Park is a big benefit and gives it star number 2, which is outdoor recreation and green space. It is a large, beautiful park with a community center, with gazebos. It's a place to have events, have a picnic, enjoy the trees, the massive amount of trees and the greenery out there. And Falls Lake is right there as well. Affordability is still reasonable for what you get. You can find solid homes around $450,000, which in this tier of a suburb is becoming harder to find. This is where Wake Forest has become one of the top performing areas in the region. Consistent growth for years. New construction on the south and the east side, strong schools, mature but still adding. South Main still continues to develop. 540 extension is eventually going to reshape the Wake Forest access. It will connect far more cleanly to RTP and to East Wake, and that's a real win. But here's the honest trade-off. US 1 problem no one warns you about. US 1 traffic is genuinely rough. If you work in RTP or West Raleigh, the drive can be brutal during rush hour. 540 helps some, but US 1 itself isn't going to magically get faster. If you work in North Raleigh or you remote work, Wake Forest is fantastic. If you're a daily commuter, pause and think about this area. This is really the best fit for North Raleigh workers and remote workers, or families who want charm, school, and value. Not a fit for commuters. All right, let's look at all 11 towns side by side. 5 stars, the only one getting 5 stars in the perfect score is Durham. 4 stars, Cary, Apex, Holly Springs, Knightdale, Wendell, Fuquay-Varina, and Wake Forest. And the ones getting 3 stars, Garner, Clayton, and Angier. But here's where this ranking actually matters. The stars tell you one story, and the missing star tells you another one. Every 4-star town lost for a specific reason. Cary, Apex, and Holly Springs lose on affordability. Knightdale and Wendell lost on amenities. Fuquay-Varina and Wake Forest lost on their commute. When you're picking a town, don't just look at the number, look at what the missing star is, because if you're a remote worker, Fuquay, Wake Forest missing star doesn't matter at all. So they're actually a 5-star if you're a remote worker. If you're a budget buyer, 3-star towns like Garner might actually beat the 4-star towns for what you're trying to do. That's the thing this ranking won't do for you. It can't know your jobs, your kids, and your budget. That's where the real conversation starts. Here's the honest truth about these towns. There is no single best answer. The best town is the one that matches your commute, lifestyle, and daily life. I made this video structured the way it is to give you the option and give you the information to make the best decision possible. So if it were my family and I were looking for a place to relocate, I'd head on over to this playlist and get started looking at a little bit more of a deep dive on those areas. I'll see you over on the playlist.